Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame, they find their guy in the 2027 cycle. Four-star quarterback Teddy Jarrard committing to Notre Dame. Now, right off the bat, what fires me up about this commitment, this was the guy for Notre Dame and their coaching staff in the 2027 cycle. They only offered two quarterbacks. It was Teddy Jarrard and it was Peyton Houston. And so if you're a Notre Dame fan, like you're sitting here and saying, we got a guy that this coaching staff absolutely loves in the 2027 cycle. Number two, I mean, going down into the state of Georgia, this has been a sneaky storyline for Notre Dame over the last couple of cycles, especially in the 2026 cycle. Going down into the state of Georgia, going down into the state of Texas, landing some of the best players from that state. Now, why is that so important? Number one, a lot of good football players in the state of Georgia. Number two, who are some of the programs that y'all going to have to beat every single year to win national championships? And you make no mistake about it, that's the standard that Marcus Freeman is setting for this program. Going to have to beat teams like Georgia. So not only are you making your roster better, but you're going down into the state of Georgia, going head to head with a plethora of SEC programs, winning out for kids like Teddy Jarrard. That's how you continue to close the gap and work about getting over the hump. Teddy Jarrard's going to help you over the next 12 months build a really strong class in 2027, especially down there in the state of Georgia. Last thing I'll say, this quarterback room is young and it is talented, and we've seen Marcus Freeman have to go to the transfer portal and grab guys like Sam Hartman, grab guys like Riley Leonard. Good football players, ain't knocking that process, but I don't see Notre Dame having to go to the transfer portal to grab quarterbacks anytime soon. CJ Carr, Kenny Minchey, two young cats that we think are really, really good. You landed Blake Hebert, who was a late addition to Notre Dame in the 2025 cycle. I freaking love that kid. And you have Noah Grubbs in 2026. Now Teddy Jarrard in 2027. That quarterback runway, that quarterback pipeline, it is there for Notre Dame. And you talk about how you maintain staying power at the top of the sport. You want to make sure you have a bunch of talented quarterbacks on your roster. That is what Notre Dame has over the next couple of years. Those are some things that, some intangible things that fire me up about this commitment. I do want to get into Teddy Jarrard. I got an interesting player comp for this kid as well. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys and to the Notre Dame fans especially. Man, it's been so fun talking this program in the offseason. It really hasn't felt like this around Notre Dame in a really long time when it comes to talent acquisition. Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman has elevated this program in terms of what they can do acquiring talent, breaking down all the commitments, talking about the visit weekends, the amount of support that the Notre Dame fans have shown the boys. It's truly been amazing. Can't thank you guys enough. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, what about Teddy Jarrard? We're 3 minutes, 30 seconds in. We barely talked about this kid. 6'3", 190. The best way to describe Teddy Jarrard, at least from what I got from the sophomore year, is that he might not have the biggest arm, and he might not be the most athletic quarterback in the 2027 cycle. But in terms of understanding the sport, especially as a sophomore in high school, incredibly impressive film to watch. Throws with, and I'm talking about elite touch and accuracy. I don't think he has a flamethrower. He can rip it. He can rip the ball in if he wants to. I don't think he has a flamethrower. In terms of accuracy and touch, it is absolutely elite. Gets the football out of his hands routinely on time. He's a guy that I think processes the game really well. I guess the only knock on Teddy Jarrard is how high is the upside, how elite is the arm, and how elite is the athlete. But I think you're getting a quarterback that if you can put the pieces around Teddy Jarrard, this kid can win you a lot of football games at the next level. Really, really balanced kid. He's not an exceptional athlete, but he's athletic enough to get outside the pocket, extend plays, pick up the chains or move the chains when he wants to. And he's a guy that, although does not have maybe a elite arm talent in terms of flamethrower, big arm, howitzer on the right side of his body, he's got more than good enough arm to make it work at the highest level of the sport. But again, to me, what separates him is between the years, because you turn on the film and say the processing, the anticipation, the touch that he can throw with the football, it's all there. My player comp is probably a guy like Garrett Nussmeier, where it's like, all right, Garrett Nussmeier doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He is not necessarily the biggest or the best athlete on the football field, but the intangibles and the ability to make some really special throws with accuracy and touch. That's what we talk about with Garrett Nussmeier. It's kind of how I'm talking about a guy like Teddy Jarrard as well. Getting into a little bit of the film, he's really fun to watch because he does a lot of stuff at a really high level. When you start turning on the film, number one, the quick processing. You got like a little bit of a high-low concept here where we're reading this boundary cornerback. Is he going to bite down on the short stuff? Well, we're going to unleash that ball long, and it happens really quick. And you can tell his first read is probably working to the boundary right here. Cornerback squeezes down, quickly comes off that, pushes the ball down the field. Again, the arm talent is there. It's not like this kid has a bad arm by any means. You continue to work through the film, you see a little playmaking. Again, he's not necessarily the best athlete, but when you need him to play off script, he can give you some off script playing. And I love how he made a field general, telling his wide receivers what to do. Hey, get up there. We going through. This is low key a long throw. And so you like what he can do when it comes to being creative, playing off script, which, look, I'll say this, really important at the college level. It ain't one of the things I love the most about Riley Leonard is, look, it's not going to be perfect, especially in college. You have to be able to operate off script. I think Teddy Jarrard can give you that ability. I mean, the touch and accuracy is, and this is a heck of a play by the wide receiver here, but a good ball by Teddy Jarrard. You'll see him in a lot of different times. Like, hey, we're looking at bringing 6-man here. We got to get the ball out quick and we got to jam it in there. Like there is not a throwing window here. There's not a ton of separation, but we're jamming it in, putting it right on the frame of our wide receiver. When the ball needs to come out fast, the ball gets out fast for Teddy Jarrard. And what I'd remind everybody here, like this is a sophomore. This is the sophomore film. This ain't junior film. This ain't senior film. So he's still a young quarterback that is wise beyond his years when it comes to the between the ears part of the game. This is probably his best. The touch and location that he has throwing these back shoulders it's one of the best you'll see at the high school ranks. Again, he can throw the flamethrower, and you see some real anticipation here off your back foot, a little bit of a muddy pocket. We're throwing to this throwing window right here, and he does. You ain't going to see many sophomore quarterbacks throw with that kind of anticipation. And look, he can put some juice on it when you need him to. These are the throws. I mean, he's routinely these are difficult throws, especially opposite hash to the boundary, and he's routinely putting that ball right where it needs to be. Now, his wide receiver's going up and making plays, but he's putting the ball in the spot. Those are some high-level throws from a sophomore quarterback. I think you're getting a good one. And again, I mean, that's dropping it in the bucket. There's a very small throw window. If you want to throw this football, you got to be perfect with it, and he certainly is. I like Teddy Jarrard a lot, and I get the feeling like this guy's going to be holding that Notre Dame flag up in the state of Georgia. And when you want to go down to the state of Georgia and start going head to head with some of these other SEC programs for some of the best players, not only in the state of Georgia, but across the country, having a guy like Teddy Jarrard that's carrying that Notre Dame flag, it's going to help you. It's going to help you in a big way. Like the take a lot. I think he's a guy that you certainly can rely on to win you some football games over the next couple of years. Really talented quarterback room. This kid's going to help you recruit those southern states. And you're seeing Notre Dame push down south. Especially with that win against Georgia in the playoffs and obviously making the run to the national championship, the perception of Notre Dame has changed for kids, not only in the region, but across the country. And you can go down to the state of Texas and grab a guy like Javion Osborne or Caden Finley. Go down to the state of Georgia, Teddy Jarrard, Jonas Walton. There's not a place Notre Dame can't go right now on the trail. That's the difference. We'll close it out there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.